Hello, everyone. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Fair Criticism, and I'm back again today. Remember in my last video, I discussed giving offering and the issues around it, giving offering in church and the issues around it. I posted a video on YouTube, on my other social media platforms. But I need to quickly say this before I begin today's broadcast. Please, I want you to hold on to this. Very, very important. I, for one, and I believe this should go for every other person doing this. What I'm doing and what we should be doing should never be mistaken for an attack on the Christian fold or on the church or on personalities. But there's come a time for us all as Christians to retrace our steps, to address issues, and go back to the basics. Go back to what Jesus Christ originally taught us to do. And this should not be mistaken for causing divisions in the church. It's possible that non-Christian people might get a wrong impression about what we are doing. They might think we are fueling the embers of division in the fold. No, that's not what we're doing. It is not out of place to address our issues. It is not out of place to correct anomalies and misnomers in the church. And it doesn't reduce Christianity to address our issues, even if we come public to do this. The fact that there are malpractices and strange things happening in the Christian fold does not reduce the practice, does not reduce the religion, okay, to any base stuff that you might think of. So please clear your mind and disabuse your mind yourself. This is not about an attack on ourselves. This is not about causing division in the Christian fold. If you perceive what we are doing wrongly, it's up to you. But I know for one, and my conscience is clear, and I believe every other person doing the same thing should tread on the path of caution to ensure that we do not hit the Christian polity, so to speak. So I need to make that impression very, very clear. Okay? There's nothing wrong in a family if there are issues and we come together to address it. Truth is always bitter. Truth is definitely always bitter. All right? So when we tell ourselves the truth, well, we should find some people getting hurt. But I would like to, I'm going to go live again late in the day, but I just need to do this very quickly. My device here, the internet on it is not very strong. I would have shown you a video. Just in the spirit of this redress and this address and this, ongoing evaluation of our practices as Christians. I saw a video on YouTube where Pastor Benny Hinn admitted being guilty of the ongoing issues about churches and pastors, so particular about prosperity and all of that. And I want to say again, because I've said it on Facebook, I posted a video on Facebook, and I was very, very clear on something. The man of God took a bold step, and I salute him. I salute his courage. I salute his his ability to be able to come out clean. And I think other men of God who had been in that should emulate him and do the same. There's nothing wrong in admitting you're wrong and take the right step towards the right thing. I'll show you the video later in the day when I go live again later in the day. So the man of God admitted having been guilty of taking it a little too far with regard to prosperity. As a matter of fact, to be very, very truthful, until I saw that video, that man never to me was a respectable man of God. To me, my opinion. I'm sorry. I used to post some of his video that I believed in time past, that I believed were larger than life and all that. But if you watch the video, if you had hated that man God even now, though he's admitting now after a long time, but it doesn't matter. Whenever you come back to Jesus, he's always there waiting for you. Okay, we are all guilty of one thing or the other, all right? But I salute the man of God for his courage to admit having been a little too excessive in the area of prosperity and all of this. Remember my last videos about giving in church and what we have neglected and all that. So once again, I salute the man of God, and he earns my respect from that video and from this moment. He earns my respect. Thank you very much. Before I go, there's something I want to talk about today. And it's still in the same spirit of retracing our step, reviewing and reevaluating the norm, what has become of us as Christians, how we have shifted our focus away from Jesus, and we have become so self-soaked and self-conscious. They are marketing their brand. Did you get that? Let me say that again. Most pastors these days, what we've seen in the last decades is a trend, a very ugly trend of upcoming pastors and old pastors deviating from promoting and marketing the gospel and Jesus Christ. They are now marketing themselves, rebranding themselves, selling themselves out there. That's what I'm going to talk about in my next video. I just wanted to quickly do this video first to correct the impression about, the fact that maybe we doing this we are causing division in the Christian fold. No, we are not. We are as united as ever. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday. It was the same. It's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. It's the same. That's what I'm saying. Finally, I mentioned tithe and offering and the controversies that have been trailing both concepts. I don't want to read any Bible today. You know why? Because you remember I said I don't like talking too much when I'm talking about the Bible. I would love to read for you and see. But I believe on this subject of tithe, more than enough videos have been done by people. More than enough scriptures are being exposed. So I don't think I need to go into that deeper than people are already done. Okay. But one thing I'll say, I am an advocate of, how will I put it? I'm an advocate of if you don't pay tithe, you are not under any curse. As a matter of fact, from the Bible, after doing my research, I realized you don't have to pay tithe. You don't have to pay tithe as a Christian. You don't have to pay tithe as a Christian. There's so many facts about tithe. Maybe I might come up with a video. I'll tell you all the reasons why you don't necessarily have to pay. In fact, you don't have to pay tithe as a Christian. As a Christian, not as a Jew, as a Christian. you don't have to pay tithe. But don't get confused and don't get it twisted. In fact, what we are required to pay or give now is more than tithe. So don't get it confused. Those people that have come on YouTube and on different social media talking about condemning tithe and all that, they failed to do one thing. The fact that you are not on any course for not paying tithe is not a license to stop giving in church. You remember my last video? If you haven't seen my last video, please check purpose of giving, offering in church, purpose of giving in church. As far as I'm concerned, tithe is not Christian. Fine. But what is now Christian? Giving your entire life, giving your entire money, giving your entire property, selling your property to give to the welfare of the people of God. That is far bigger responsibility than tithe. What does God require of you now? I read it in the scripture from the last video about giving. Somebody came to Jesus and asked, what should I do to be perfect? Jesus told him, I think Matthew 19 or so, go and sell your properties and give them to the poor. Yes, that is far bigger than tithe. So we have a bigger responsibility than tithe and than tithing. So the era of giving your tithe to giving it in church and giving it to pastors has passed. But let me say this also. Let me say this like this. If you still believe that you have to pay your tithe, let me say that you are not discouraged from doing that. Do you know how I see you if you're paying tithe? I just see that still giving to God. Only that perhaps I may advise that you can give that tithe directly to your pastor, can give it to the widows according as recommended in Deuteronomy, I think 14 or 19 or 18 or so. You can give the tithe to your pastor, you can give it to the widows, to the orphans, because it's there in the Bible. It's there. I'm sure you must have seen video about that. So if you still want to give your tithe, I don't see you as tithe, I see you as given. But give more than 10%, give more than tithe. That's what I'd say. That's what Jesus requires of us. That's what he requires of us. We should give our life. And that's what I have always been trying to do. And I want to improve on that. Forget about tithe. But if you still want to, if your mentality is still so stuck to the practice of giving tithe, if you don't want to stop, no problem. If you like, just have it as tithe in your mind. I would not see you as a tither. I'll see you as somebody who gives to God. And giving to God is not, I think I feel like I need to do this. I think I need to do this. Tithe, it's been established, the tithe in the old days, in the Old Testament, it was in form of everything but money. Even God said that where it is far, where the place he has designated for you to take the tithe to is far, you can sell the tithe and convert it into money. Then when you get to the place God has chosen for you, you can now buy those things and those things that are used as tithe, and then you eat it and all of that. Yeah. But what is of more importance is the fact that we see what God has asked us to do as affecting humanity, your next neighbor, your next neighbor, your folks in the fold. That's what I see as important. So I'm not here to condemn tithe as something evil or whatever, but it is established that you don't have to pay tithe. Tithe is not relevant for us as Christians. But what is more relevant, what is now relevant, is to give more than tithe to God. But God does not accept it from you, like from your hand. What does God say? Once you do this to any of your neighbor, you have done it for me. Jesus Christ said, you saw me naked, you didn't clothe me, you saw me hungry, you didn't feed me. He said, but God, when did we see you like that? When you saw your brother and you didn't help him, your brother, your brethren, you didn't help them. So that's what God is asking of us to do now. And we are doing this, to restore peace, sanity in the country. How can we help restore sanity in this country, Nigeria, or in Africa as a continent? This is the only thing we can do for now, because we don't have political power or the economic power, to effect bigger changes. But we can do this. If you, I, everyone, the church, were taking care of each other, we will reduce poverty. If you reduce poverty, the gospel of our Lord Jesus can flourish. Yes, because when Jesus Christ was preaching and saw the people hungry, he didn't just leave them hungry. He didn't ask them to give to be blessed. What did he do? He fed them. I read in my last video about giving. The apostles, when they were given the prophecy that there was going to be famine in Jerusalem, they came together and gave relief to the believers in Jerusalem. They were not asked to give to do that. So they did as much as possible to relieve, relieve people of suffering. That's what we need to be doing in church today, so that we can reduce the poverty level in the country, in the continent. Imagine how many churches we have. If the churches are taking care of the people as much as they could, those that have big schools, universities and secondary school and all that, you do it in such a way that all your members have access to that quality education that you are providing. Imagine, imagine, imagine. There are some of us there are some people that are rich. Those that are rich are supposed to help those that are poor. So those rich members in church who are financing the schools or whatever, let them help the poor in the church. By so doing, we are reducing poverty in the country. We are helping the government. We are helping the country. But we cannot continue to rely on the government to do the right thing. We're not going to get there by continually focusing on the government. Let's focus on ourselves. That is the essence of this kind of video we're doing. So that's exactly what we're talking about. Let us help. Let the help start from the grassroots. Let the church concentrate on helping the people. As we help the people, we are propagating the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, because it's an integral part of the gospel. The gospel is a saving power. When somebody is in poverty, when somebody is suffering, how can a person accept Jesus? How can a person remain faithful to God? Somebody has been praying for you. You are in church. You have the capacity to help someone. Someone has been praying for something as simple as new shoes, or someone has been praying for to get money to pay his rent, or to move from one room to maybe 2 bedroom or something like that. There's nothing wrong in you helping that fellow. That was what the apostle did. Those who had the soul and brought it to them, and they distribute to people as they had need. That's what the church is supposed to be doing. Poverty will go away. Research holds that about 50% of Nigeria population is I think about more than half, maybe 55% are Christians. So what are we talking about? That's exactly what we're talking about. To reduce poverty, to improve lives, to better lives. That's exactly what we're talking about. We're not here to just cause division in the Christian fold, or to hit the Christian polity. No, this is not an attack on anyone. But truth is always better. So you don't want to stop giving tithe, keep giving it. Don't stop giving it. Nobody is asking to stop giving. If you want to continue to see as tithe, fine. Just keep giving. Give more than tithe. That's what we're saying. But don't just give it to pastors alone. Pastors too should not just ascribe everything to themselves. Okay, I think I'm going to do a short video on maybe summarizing some of these points that have been that has been exposed on different on different YouTube channels and different media. I'm going to do an expose on them, and I'm going to expatiate, on this. I'm going to look at all areas, key areas, to harmonize all of this, so that we don't just see it as we don't use those teachings as anti or anti-Christian. No, the essence is to restore order in church, improve lives, help the country get better. That's it. That's it. So I'm going to do a special one on that. I'm going to do a special one on that. But I think noon, about noon, I'm going to come up again, and I'm going to be talking about how most pastors. In fact, this one is a truth directed at pastors. It's not an attack, but as a truth directed at pastors who have removed Jesus and placed themselves as the brand to be marketed, to be rebranded, to be promoted. We need to correct that with immediate effect. So I will leave you with this thought. Join me around noon in the next 4 hours from now. Join me. You can join me live on this video and watch out. Maybe later, if you cannot join, you can watch for the. I'm going to talk about. I've not titled it yet, but it's going to be about why most pastors need to bring Jesus back to focus and remove themselves. Let us see Jesus. We don't want to see you. We want to see Jesus. Yes, I'm going to talk about that. It's going to be a short video, I guess. So thank you for joining me this afternoon. Don't forget, I am not here, and other people should not be here to cause division in Christianity or in the Christian fold. No, we are addressing our issues, and the only way we can get across to people is by doing it publicly like this. Because I can't approach someone personally. I don't even know where some of them are. So, but if all of us hear this and then we share this and then we sit back and realize, then we take the right step, then things will get better. And probably we may not be doing this kind of video again. So I'm going to be talking about a lot of topical issues in the Christian fold. I'm going to be talking about a lot of issues that need to be addressed. Yeah. So thank you very much. Remember, give your life, give everything you have for the betterment of your next neighbor, of your brethren in the Christian fold, especially. That's the life God has called us to do. It's the life God wants us to live. Give everything. Don't let somebody suffer. And pastors, church owners, GOs, let's imbibe the spirit of, the spirit of unity, the spirit of selflessness. Let's not just build. Let's de-emphasize on prosperity of individuals. Let's try to help those who are poor, those who cannot even give. Let's in the act of apostle too. So nobody lacked anything. People were given according to how they needed it. So there's no church where only few people are very rich. Then there is a mass of people who are poor. No, that's not biblical. That's not according to Christ. That wasn't what Jesus Christ told us to do. So that's exactly what we are addressing. Let's go back to the basics. What are the basics? What are the basic concepts of Christian life? What are the basic concepts? That's why let's go back to the basics and the principle of Christianity, according to how Jesus laid it down, according to how the disciple, showed us. That's exactly all I'm here to say this afternoon. So nobody should mistake what I'm doing and what other people are doing like this as an attack on the church. No. But truth is bitter. It must hurt, but don't get it twisted. Don't mistake what we're doing. We are not here to cause division in church. We are here to bring unity. We're here to address issues and come back to what Jesus Christ wants us to do. So thank you. See you in the next 4, 5 hours again. Thank you so much. Remain blessed. Bye.